with the roof, you see, at the time lead was still worth something.
Yes.
And they ripped out the lead, and all the timbers, the ends of all the timbers between the valleys rotted. Now we tried to keep all the original slates there.
Yeah.
On that side, but we had to replace them with more slates here, modern slates on this side.
Jeez, Jim, they're short of flickers. Can't leave that alone. Well, jeez, somebody hitting that door.
Isn't it? Yeah. These, Larry, are the ones that you could see there on the incorporated in the granite there on the floor.
Oh, that's
And they come out at the side of the exterior there. A lot of the windows are original, but some of the ones downstairs have been vandalised.
look at the pulley for
The pulley for the sash window.
the sash, yeah.
And some of them have been restored. There's a group of people in Letterfrack who do restoration of old furnishings and so on, and they've done some of the windows. And then Kevin Higgins in Eyre Street is doing the rest of the windows.
Great.
And what they're doing is they're keeping as much as possible of the original, and then they're just replacing what they have to.
Fabulous.
So it's a conservation project, really. You know, you try to keep what's original and only replace where necessary.
It's brilliant, Jim. Isn't it great though that people are so good as well, you know?
It is.
Well, are you going to do a bit of a fundraiser for raising
Well, we'll have
funds?
to fundraise because we need to pay for things like
Yes.
windows and doors, and we need money urgently, really. During Heritage Week now, we're hoping that people will give us maybe some furnishings that will be relevant and also help us out financially, maybe with the
Yes.
costing. Throughout the year then, if people give us a bit of notice, and if I'm available, I'll do a tour for a person any time. But we have to put it through the management company and make sure that everything is safe and well, and that if it is, then I'll bring people out. We also do tours during the open house, which is the architectural festival, and we usually are trying to deal with the backlog for weeks afterwards because there's always more and more people who want to do the tour. One of the things we put up there on all the walls is this picture rail. That was in one or two of the rooms, it wasn't in all of them. But every now and again we put together exhibitions. And we had a lovely exhibition from the National Museum, from the Country Life section, the Folk Life section, the National Museum. And it's just very easy to mount the exhibitions on a picture rail. They don't have to go driving holes in the walls.
That's true.
The Commissioners of Irish Lights then have given us a lot of equipment, and normally this is all locked away until we get a chance to put it on display. So we're gradually restoring it and conserving it, and eventually this material then will form part of the
Great.
exhibition.
Great. Did you see that's a big bottle over there?
Well, we're hoping that people will fill that.
Fill it. I was just going to say it.
Fill
it with drink or fill it with money?
We'll fill it with money towards the restoration. And we also have the sign of the Commissioners of Irish Lights there, a lovely piece of brass work. And one of the lads, Paddy, has made a lovely job of it.
Great.
He's just cleaned it and framed it there.
Very
So
nice.
well.
It does look well.
And this is one of the windows that has been restored.
Oh, lovely. Gee, what a lovely job, wasn't it?
They were, and it's working as well as it was operated in 1817.
But you know what, on a summer's day when you think about it now, Jim, on a summer, hadn't you got a great job all the same? Look at the view we had in Galway.
Absolutely, a fantastic view of the bay. And if you're interested in, say, the sea or birds or watching ships or anything like that, Now, you'd have an awful lot of other things to do as well. You had to keep daily log of everything that passed and everything that happened and so on. But at the same time, it was a pleasant place to be.
It was, you know, you're away from yes, and you're away from the stress of the wife and the whole lot. Oh God, almighty.
Everything had its place, as I said, an awful lot of the people were ex-military or navy. So that's where that bracket there was where they kept the telescope, and they were able to sight in then into Lochatalia and see whether they're.
So that's the original piece, is it?
Yeah,
that's the original piece.
And this room, unfortunately, an awful lot of the original fireplaces had been vandalised or had been stolen. But we were able to get pieces around the town, and people have been very good. So that came out of the skip, the metal surround, and I got the wooden surround, and the outer mantelpiece. I got that in another place. So it fits perfectly there. There were one or two other rooms which were cemented up, they'd been blocked up with concrete blocks, and the fireplaces that survived there all right. And so this was a fairly nice.
This was a nice little room.
Nice room, and you also had a pipe here, speaking tube, and you were able to communicate with the person in the tower. So if an emergency arose, there was a little bracket here that went up here. We hope to find something like it, and we hope to replicate it eventually.
Right. Jesus, that's great. Right. So we're going into the office now. Oh, you keep it out, yeah. So this was the little office they had?
This was the office, and all the signal flags were in little pigeonholes here.
Okay.
It was like a cloth, canvas thing, like pigeonholes you get in the post office but made of cloth. Whatever.
Yes.
All the flags were rolled there, and if there was an emergency, all you had to do was grab the flags that you needed, run out and raise them on the flag post outside. And then you usually had all the desk work was done here. You had to fill in various forms, and you had to monitor all the ships that were coming into the port, whatever, record any incident of interest, and maybe record the weather and so on. And you'd have a logbook and various things to fill out. And then even the furnishings. These are some of the things now that we've got from this. For instance, this wardrobe was made in the Commissioner of Irish Lights workshop in Dublin. It's probably the 1960s or whatever, but this washstand is a lot earlier. So we have various items of furniture of various dates.
And Jimmy, what's this little thing down here?
That's a weight. That was a homemade weight actually. Normally they're circular, they're cylindrical,
right,
and
okay.
that was the rope for the sash window was threaded through here.
Right.
And that's the box you see in there.
Where I went in there. Oh yes.
Where I went, and so we have to restore that window yet. But I'll give you an idea, just to give you an idea of how the windows looked. This will show you now. This is one of the.
Oh yeah.
The windows with there's the weight there now.
There's the weight inside
the weight box. And normally there's a bit of wood there, there's a lid on that. So the weights were attached to these cords, and it was the cords then that lifted the sash windows. Now as you can see, this has been vandalised completely and broken. But if you compare this with the one inside, you can see what this is going to look like when it's restored.
Yes.
The one inside has all the glazing bars are put back. So again, we'll keep as much as possible of it, and we'll restore it, and it will be nicely conserved. And eventually, we'll have the knobs and the handles there, and you'll be able to open all of that.
Brilliant.
So this is some of the work that the lads have done. This old weighing scales, for instance, they've restored that and they're painting it up at the moment. And that's an item that we got from the Commissioners of Irish Lights, the Frank Pelly and the Bailey Lighthouse has that on loan to us. And the shelves here, these were originally here and these survived, but these ones hadn't, so we just got those replicated. This is the workshop.
Alright, just the workshop.
The workbench there, and in their spare time they used to indulge in all sorts of hobbies, making model boats and ships and so on. And this is toilet was here.
Oh, this was their toilet.
But it wasn't a flush toilet. It was what's called a soil closet.
A soil closet?
A soil closet was just basically, there was a bucket and a frame.
That was it.
And then on the wall, then attached to the wall, you had a box, and with a sort of a sieve on the base of the box and a lever, and you would pull the lever and a certain amount of sand would fall into the bucket. When the bucket was full enough, you just took it out from under the frame and dumped it
in the sea.
in the sea.
Like most things today.
So this was that was the only toilet that they had. This was the main water tank.
The main water tank.
Other water tanks here as well. These have come off one of the one of the Arden lighthouses. So anything that's discarded like that is gathered up by Frank Pelly from the Commissioners of Irish Lights, and to make sure that it's preserved. And we have the material. We have a certain amount of material on permanent loan here. This thing here is the lower part of a thing for slaking the lime, and you can see the remnants of the lime in it.
Yes.
There's a lime kiln in beside Donnelly's coal yard there on Lockatawley Road, just up from Fort Hill Cemetery, and you would get the lime there in blocks, and you put it in this. There was a lid on this. You add the water, and this would almost boil. It became very hot.
Very hot.
And then you broke it down and you used it for lime washing and so on. And this was another tank then that was positioned around the other side of the lighthouse. It was just for washing the area, the base of the keeper's house there.
History here, Jim.
There's a lot of history here, and a lot more of it to be recorded as well. Bill Scanlon has done several tapes about the history of the place. Well, we'd like to meet some of the families of the other people who lived and worked here over the years and get their story as well.
These are all the original buildings now, yeah?
Yeah. Now, in this instance, when one or two of them, the roofs are more modern. In the 1930s and again the 1950s, they had concrete roofs on some of them. But originally they would have been slated. But this is a little workshop, not a little workshop, but a little storage shed really, and for paint and paraffin and various equipment and so on. Again, it's all paved with the old York stone.
York stone. Jeez.
York slabs.
No, it's great to get all that, Jim. Have a record for prosperity as well.
Great. This is the stone that was brought all the way from Norway.
Norway.
It's the rock armour put in place to protect the sewage treatment plants, the wastewater treatment plant. It's always brought by barge.
I remember seeing the barges coming in, alright.
That's where, yeah, you can see over there, you can just see the part of the wreck of an old trawler.
Oh, I can, yes. Yeah. Jesus. That's there for many a year, by.
Yeah.
Jeez. I don't know the name of that trawler.
I don't know.
There was no one hurting, no?
No.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's the stone from Norway.